Good morning, professionals you trust. Today, I have the honor of introducing our presenter of the week, Nathan Kelly with Pure Dry and Pure Clean. We had him answer three questions to let us get to know him just a little bit better. The first question is, if you could give a piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be? This is one of my favorite questions. His answer: the law of attraction is real, and you can have whatever life you want, seriously and for real. You're in charge of creating your own reality, and it's going to be so fun.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
yeah,
hear him saying that.
yeah.
The second question that we asked him, using just one word, name something that drives your success. He simply put the word more, period. That's awesome. His third question, what is the reason you get up in the morning? To live, to experience life, to meet new people, to co create new experiences, to gain wisdom, and to love. Everyone, welcome Nathan Kelly.
Thank you so much, Leslie, for that introduction. Here we go. Okay, so as some of you remember, we've had an ongoing series about what to do to find what to do to make sure that you don't meet myself and the Pure Dry team at your home or business. We're always there if you need us, but you don't always want to meet us that way. I'm the business development manager for both Pure Clean and Pure Dry. There's my personal contact information. The phone is never off, so you can always call or text. We're talking specifically about Pure Dry stuff today in this ongoing series. Our goal is to avoid this. You've seen these pictures before, but we love showing them. They're awfully dramatic, but these are real photos. We also want to avoid this. So fires, floods, sewage backups, mold, these are not fun things to experience. And so we want to do what we can to help you avoid all of this. We're talking about fire today. Now, at Pure Dry, like I mentioned, we help with floods, sewage backups, mold, fire, and smoke damage. The vast majority of the clients that we assist are water damage, sewage, mold type stuff. Occasionally, we'll help out with fire or smoke damage when it comes to the rebuilding part, helping correlate all of that. Most of the time, when somebody has a fire, there's a claim involved, and typically they use larger franchises who get out there at the behest of the carrier. But we have some fun tips for you to help prevent a fire in the first place. A lot of these you may already know. Some are super basic, but they're good reminders since some of us don't deal with this stuff all day, every day. Some good reminders on how to avoid a fire in the first place. So smoke alarms, we all know this. And if you came to our house, there are smoke alarms more frequently than what I think is necessary. But when you deal with disasters and have a family who gets to hear about all the stories, we have quite a few smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, testing your batteries each month. I know that there's a word to the wise out there, testing the batteries, when you change your clocks. But I'd rather know well before daylight savings time if I need to replace a battery. So that's one of your first warnings. So make sure you check the batteries. Inspecting your heating sources, cleaning out your dryer lint, your furnace filters. If those build up, they can become fire hazards. We tend to change our filters a bit more frequently in our house. We have allergies, and so we want to keep the air as clean as possible, cleaning out your air ducts, some things to help prevent buildup. So inspecting your appliances. This gives the impression that you should go around to your coffee maker, your toaster, your deep fryer thing to make sure that everything is in good condition. That's not a bad idea. Don't be obsessive about it. This is your home, for goodness sakes. The goal is not to get you to be a worry wart, but just keep an eye out. If something doesn't look right, it's probably not right. If something's frayed, get a new appliance, replace the cord, officially have a licensed electrician replace the cord to make sure that your family stays safe. There's 3 prongs on a cord for a reason. The grounding helps keep everything safe. So Don't force something that a 3-prong outlet, don't take off the bottom prong to put it into a 2-prong receptacle. That's only going to cause problems. One of the things that I need to remember, don't leave cooking things unattended. I tend to see shiny objects and squirrels running by, so I get easily distracted. If I'm cooking, I need to stay there. We have quite a few stories of grease fires happening, things boiling over. You get distracted, you have a kiddo who needs your attention. Please make sure that you pay attention to this. This is one of the most common things. This is another good reminder for me. I tend to love super bright lights in the house. Thankfully, I have a wife who does not. So our home looks like a home as opposed to a sports bar with neon lighting everything up. Check the receiver of each light fixture. It tells you the maximum wattage for the bulbs that you can use. If you put in a bulb that has too much power, it can fry things. So please make note of that. Also, if you have extension cords running, please cover them so that nobody trips. Not so much to unplug the item that's plugged in, but obviously tripping can be an issue, but it can also spill the thing, knock the hot thing over, which can cause a fire as well. Fireplaces. Thankfully, we're coming into spring and summer. We may not be using fireplaces as much, but when we do use them, if you have a wood fireplace, please have a screen in front of it. That will do quite a bit to keep embers and sparks inside the fireplace as opposed to on your carpet. I remember when I was a kid, I had to clean out the ashes from our fireplace, and I didn't think that they needed to be cool before I put them in a paper bag, and I found out the hard way that hot embers and paper bags don't always mesh, or ever mesh, in fact. Candles. Please don't leave your candles unattended. I know, and I'm actually guilty of this. I preach it. I don't always follow it myself. Again, not to make you a worrywart, not to make you, paranoid, but it's the things you don't think about that can cause the problems. Fire extinguishers. In our house, we have fire extinguishers on every floor of the house. I'm never planning to have a fire, but when I do, I want to keep the thing that puts out the fire as close as possible to it. We keep ours in our underneath the bathroom sink because we all know where the bathrooms are, and that's a good way for us to remember where the fire extinguisher is. Keeping one outside if you're grilling, keeping it within reach, at least where you know where it's at. When something is happening, when the emergency starts, that's not the time to think, oh my gosh, where did I put the thing that's going to make everything better? So having a plan of attack beforehand, like an emergency response program. This is a little sneak peek into my next presentation where we'll talk about this for your home and for your business. This is a way for you to plan for the worst, with hopefully it never happening. You tend to, one of our jokes here at the office is, when you make a plan, when you make an emergency response plan, when you know where your water and gas shutoffs are, when you know who to call in what order, when you know what proper steps to help mitigate a disaster, that's when things don't happen. It's when you don't plan for it, that's when bad stuff happens. So take a few minutes in your home and in your business. A lot of us in our business, we come to an office, we have no idea where the water shutoff is, where the gas shutoff is, where the breakers are. It's always good to know where that's at, because you could be the person who could keep something traumatic from happening. And then also, a lot of you may already have this information, but please, 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 somewhere in your office where you know where it's at, have a list of contacts on who to contact in which order, so that you know if something were to happen. It's all about saving time, which saves money and can ultimately save a life. Any questions that may have arisen?